So I want to get to a clip of Sally. Because I think that the way that we as individuals, and like I said, this year was very interesting for me, so this stuck out to me. We had the interview, and then I think I saw the footage later, and it hit me so hard. But the way that we evolved as individuals and as women in relationships.
I realized that when I became more of who I really was, we could communicate better, because when we first started dating, I just wanted him to be with me so much that I was willing to say yes to anything. I don't like when you do this. This is okay. Are you gonna do that again? No. And like, so whatever I had to say to keep you around, but I'm not being me. And but then he had to adjust to the person who's going, no, that's who I am. This is what I'm doing. This is the career I want. This is where, but I was willing, but then that makes me a liar. Then he'd be like, you lied. But I lied because I wanted to be with you. Like, it became this circle of, well, but I lied because I loved you, but I thought I could not do that, but I could, it was just a whole thing. And now I just am who I am. And I hope you accept it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I would love to find out if you have any experience with that, Melissa, and then of course if you want to say more about it, but I definitely relate to it. It is 2019 for me. He is just like, who are you? And I'm like, you just got to go along with it.
It's like, this isn't where it was or who I signed up to be with, but
at my core, I am the same.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like on the other side, it's an interesting journey, because there is a sense of, was like, well, this isn't the contract that we agreed to.
Listen, it's not that you don't change. It's not that he ain't changed.
It's not. It's like, this isn't where we were. It's like, I was okay with that. We were cool, and I was happy. And it's just like, you're like, nah, fuck that.
But when I look back at that, and we were all younger too, and.
Right.
And you don't necessarily completely know your truth yet.
Right.
You haven't completely embraced your strength yet. So luckily, and to stay married with people, you have to embrace the change. You have to embrace the growth and the strength. I think that a lot of that, besides that I just wanted him to accept me, and I was afraid that if I wasn't everything he needed me to be, he wouldn't stay. But I also grew up.
Right.
And I knew that we get along better if I'm just honest in my truth. Yes. If I go, now that doesn't mean it's all gonna work out, but I can say, I don't like that, I'm not comfortable with that. He can give his opinion, and I can go, well, I don't. You can do what you want to do. I don't agree, but at least I'm saying it. And still, even now, it's hard for me to do that. But I'm not afraid anymore. He's going anywhere. I'm like, well, I don't like it. Good luck. You gonna find somebody else? Good. You gonna have a good time. Good luck with that. And I'm just more confident in who I was. So I think part of it is just growth and becoming a woman and not a girl anymore.
But I think there's also the guy side of growing and learning that it's perfectly okay. Yeah. Because there's a big part of it where it's resistance, where it's like, that's not how things were.
Right.
That's not what you said we were, and that's not what I got comfortable with.
Let me tell you right now. If you're doing life correctly, you're supposed to be constantly evolving. If you're constantly evolving, you're constantly changing. So the person that I was in a relationship with 22 years ago is not even here. She's not even here. I don't know where that chick went. All I know is this. I have to constantly redate my wife. Because she's constantly evolving, she's constantly changing, and so am I. Guess what?
Right.
Does that dude 22 years ago, he ain't here either. Thank you, Jesus. So, look, my marriage began the day that I stopped trying to fix my wife.
Yeah, y'all can clap.
And here's how I even arrived at that. When I realized that I was trying to fix my wife to get her to accommodate things that were broken in me.
Come on, DeAndre. Let's go.
I'm just giving you the truth. As you need that repeated? Is that yes? Okay, let me give you an example. So
No.
I wrote a book. The book is called, you better sit up. You better sit up. You better sit up. I'm somebody different too. You better sit up. Male versus man. Every man that you meet is a male, but not every male that you meet is a man. My manhood began the day that I stopped doing things that I had to lie about. Once I got to that point, when I began matriculating into my own manhood, there was no reason for me to have to fix her. Because my business became about me fixing me. Now, I am the leader of my house. Period. With her sitting right here, with her someplace else, it don't matter. That's not a discussion. My job as a man is to do what I was supposed to do when God created me. His intention was for me to lead my house. Don't applaud yet. I didn't become the leader of my house by telling my wife what to do.
This part.
The reason why I'm the leader of my house is because I show people what to do. I just do it, and then I do it to the degree that is so good that I got to make it attractive so my wife looks at it and goes, I need to do that. So that my kids go, I need to do that. My brothers, let me tell you something. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. You are the key to your house. No disrespect to my sisters. You are the key to your house. Because when you leave, the nature of that house changes. We got a bunch of brothers in this state. The gang violence is not because we got mothers that abandon their children. The number one problem we have in this society is we don't produce enough men that produce men. Our number two problem is we don't produce enough women that know how to readily identify the difference between a male and a man. So they think that they're being partnered with a man because he's wearing the uniform of one. He got on nice shoes. He got nice pecs. He got the accoutrements of success. He got a nice hat. He got a nice car. But he still lives with his mama. You are in relationship with a male that is wearing the uniform of a man but stuck in the mental capacity of a boy. This book is going to break down for you what the difference is. Listen, let me tell you something. I would have been a better husband. You better go with this. I would have been a better husband if I would have had my father teach me how to be one. How you gonna be a husband and nobody ever taught you how to be that? How you gonna be a wife and nobody ever taught you how to be that? We need to have this more often where we sit down and this is why the show came about in the first place. Because they're like, how do I get to be a better wife? How do I get to be a better husband? I gotta be in a community of folks that give us information. How many times have people lied to you about what a relationship is? Or what a marriage is? Oh man, yeah, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. If you don't get skill sets about how to do a marriage, you will want to either kill yourself or kill your partner without skill sets. And that comes from a lack of information. That's why this is so necessary. You need that information.
Well, let me say this too. It's more accessible now than ever to work on yourself, to learn about whatever it is you want to be. If you want to be a wife, if you want to be a mother, if you want to be a husband, if you just want to be a man instead of a male, right? Or to recognize those things. It's more accessible now than ever through books like yours, through Black Love, through the Love Hour podcast, through tons of social media pages. And there are people who are so very vocal and verbal about, you know, it's okay to be imperfect, but we've got to work on ourselves. As you said, when you stop trying to fix her, we've got to work on ourselves. I had an epiphany like a couple weeks ago that like, everyone's like, marriage is work. And then people want to argue about, is it work? Should it be work? Da, 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 da. To me, the answer is absolutely yes. And the work is what we do on ourselves. Right. The work is not simply going to therapy as a couple and arguing and whatever it is. Hands down, period, point blank, we have to do work on ourselves at as many stages of marriage as possible to be the best person and partner that we can be, because we are evolving. We're evolving individually, we're evolving as couples. You done sent us off on a tangent where now we just like telling folks what it is, but at the end of the day, I just feel so grateful that there are so many avenues out here to learn how to be better at being us.
We always get like, oh, you guys are so cute, you were so young, y'all was babies. You know, like we get that a lot. And it is true, right? We started dating, we were 16 years old, we got married I was 21, she was 20. So people never, like we didn't even realize this until this year. One of the drawbacks of being together so young is the person you are at 16, like you're literally still a child. Like you are by law a minor. You can't drink, you can't smoke, like you're children. When we were 21, we were in college, like nothing about us nothing ever is finite, but we were so underdeveloped as people. So as you go into adulthood, like we had to go through all the changes together, becoming a man, being on my own first apartment. She never lived by herself ever. So she went from her parents' house to her dorm with me. So living with a man for the first time, seeing this body and what that's like, you know, it ain't no DeAndre, no ain't no Dondre, you understand me? You know, so then she had to go from, she had we also have this daydream version of our marriage, you know, and a lot of that is based on our parents. So in both our parents were in the military, so in her family, her dad went to work every day. He came home. Those checks came like clockwork on the 1st and the 15th, no matter what. House, medical, food, regardless, because you work for the government. My dad did too. So she never been dating an entrepreneur. So I got fired, you know, they was hating on your boy. When I got fired, she's expecting me to go get another job, be like my dad. What she didn't know is I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So when I got fired, I was like, this is God telling me that I need to go into what I really need to be. So now she's got to get used to the entrepreneur, ambitious version of me that I was really playing a role up until that point. I was acting like I wanted to work a 9 to 5. I never wanted to do that. I was like, man, please fire me. Give me 1 year of unemployment and I'll make it work, you know? So then, you know, we have kids and that literally changes your hormones and that dynamic. Then you have another kid and that kid ain't as well behaved as the first kid, you know, listen. And then, you know, her parents got divorced early in our marriage, so her viewpoint of marriage changed. So it's like, you know, I'm learning to love the current. It's like an iPhone.
You was gonna say what I was gonna say.
You want to say? I can lob it off the backboard and you can take it. You can go from the iPhone.
You go.
Yeah, I don't have to dunk it all the time.
Okay.
I'm liable to.
Okay. I was just gonna say really quickly. First of all, Sally is goals. I just want y'all to say that. Just want y'all to know that we were back there, and I was like, I think I love her. I think I do. And I want to just quickly, the clip that was played is literally like the last year of my life. I have been transforming into Melissa 2.0 is what I've been calling it, and it is this habit I think that we have as women where we shrink in our own space is what I call it. We're crouching in our own bodies, not taking up all of our space, thinking that we are protecting our husband's ego. I don't need the spotlight. I'm gonna let my husband do this. So we yes them all the time. We're quiet. Even, you could see my demeanor. It's just like, I'm gonna let all y'all just speak and I'm gonna just sit in the back. And it's me trying to I don't need too much space. I'm gonna just sit here and be okay. Instead of saying, I have something to say. I have opinions. I have a point of view. And so that's literally what I have been working on with myself is have a point of view. Say something, have an opinion, and that's okay. That doesn't make you confrontational. That doesn't make you difficult. That doesn't make you an angry, mad black woman. That is okay. And we find ourselves in relationships where we don't, and then we lose our intuition. And then 20 years into a marriage, someone's asking you, what do you like? And you're like, I don't even know. Because this whole time I've been appeasing, I've been appeasing my husband. I've been playing this role, and so I've been coming into the true, authentic Melissa. No longer playing the role of what I thought a wife would be. I have this image of this is what a wife is, and these are the characteristics of a wife. And so I'm trying to force myself to fit into this mold, and I'm losing parts of myself in the process. And so this year I've been like, child, no more. So listen. All this time I've been telling you I like eggs. I don't really like eggs. I've been evolving into that person and being okay with it. And so we give this, now this is real life.
For real. I'll be like, bro, you don't like eggs. You eating 8,000 eggs in our marriage, honey.
These are
Just stop
real life
eggs.
stories. So we give this example about my evolution, and it comes from a real life story. So my youngest son has an iPhone. He has an iPhone 7 a few updates ago. And I was showing him, I have the 10 now, and I was showing him something on my phone, and of course he has an older model, so it's not a 1-for-1. So I'm trying to explain to him how to do something. I'm like, press this button. He's like, I ain't got that button. Well, press this button. Well, I ain't got that button either. And I had this real life epiphany, and I was like, that's marriage. Sometimes, as an example, on his phone, he has the home button, the iPhone 10 doesn't. And you marry this person and they have the home button. And then you update, you evolve, you change. And your husband is, in this case, is like pressing the home button, and I'm like, it ain't there no more. I don't care how many times you press that button, it no longer serves a function. And what you have to do is learn this new model. The model without the home button. The model when you used to be able to swipe right to delete an email, you now gotta swipe left. Learn that.
You guys got it there. She's driving stuff. And then, here we are. She's all in.
Okay.
How's that going for you? Here's my thing. I want to just say one thing. Just want to say one thing about the phone. Great analogy. Oh, perfect.
It's my favorite.
However, when you get an iPhone and they update it, they send you an email. And you see?